Hi everyone, I'm PirateWalnut and here's how to counter AP Winston as Mercy. Winston can be super annoying to deal with, especially if your team doesn't have as much CC, and since Winston is super tanky with his jump build, but Mercy can shut him down pretty effectively if you build the right way. So let's get into the game. Early game is pretty standard, with me getting Compensator and Weapon Grease to boost my staff, but the third item depends a lot on your matchup. One item I usually swear by but don't against Winston is Armored Vest, since Winston has armor penetration on his Tesla cannon, and while he is still predominantly focusing on jump, there are better items to get. Since the enemy is not on long range DPS like Ashe, Freya, and Sojourn, I don't see a need to get Ballistic Buffer and instead opt for First Aid Kit since it'll give me the most value. Early game is always about making money to scale, and Mercy is no different, so taking Threats of Fate allows me to help more of my team and also make sure I am rich enough through all parts of the game. Their whole team will jump me if I'm close, so I just need to keep my distance and I will get my value naturally. As much as I want to follow Hazard, I'm not sacrificing myself and my money for him, so I back up with the team. We have a kill and it'll take Torb a lot longer to get back compared to Hazard, so I just need to keep people up so we can take a 5v4. Me running the junk is very risky since it's a tight corridor that could get me killed. I could have just waited until he peeked outside to heal him. We win this fight since the enemy overstepped and my team being able to punish. Mercy really isn't that hard when you simplify your game plan.
I love putting damage on junk. I don't know, I hate playing with Junkers, but I love like how much damage it does. Is that weird to say? I don't know.
My Hazard is super far up, so I'm considering Valking for him since it's the only way to keep him up, so I do it.
Come on, take his kidneys.
I see Junk alone and take the opportunity to kill him since I see him low with Valve. We get the kill, but unfortunately my Hazard doesn't learn his lesson in the small room and dies again. Since they lost a lot of people, I just need a damage boost and help collect money from people that owe us rent.
You know, as much as I like damage boosting Junkers, you know, damage boosting Vampire is
With Winston back and Tire coming out, I need to back up, and the best way for me to live is to split up, since if the Tire goes for me, it'll only kill me and my team can potentially still clutch this fight. I messed up my positioning here, but there are a lot of choice words I would say to my Hazard since he locks me in the room with Winston, but to keep the peace, I won't say them.
why would he wall?
This hallway is super risky since I could get hit with junk spam and get stuck if Lucio and Winston try to dive me, so I should get out ASAP. My Hazard is pushed up, and if I support him we can get some kills, so I push up and Valve for him. Once Winston is dead, we just need to get all our ducks in a line, then clean up these kills.
My Hazard will be fine. My Hazard doesn't need help.
I hear Tire and hide again. And he somehow gets no one?
Like, what do you mean he fucked up that Tire? There's literally no one to block it. Like, my Persona thing didn't come in on my second
By the
round.
way,
I'm so sad.
I've been streaming a lot more on Twitch and YouTube, and you should catch a stream. I really want to start streaming to more of y'all, so make sure to catch my streams at 5 PM PST on Saturdays, Sundays, and Mondays. For round 2, we just need to amplify our healing, so I opt to get 3 rares being Advanced Antibiotics, Aftermarket Firing Pin, and Mid-Air Mobilizers. If the matchup or map wasn't good for being in the air, I would instead go Advanced Antibiotics, Talent Modification Module, and the Random Survival item, but since this matchup and map are good for Mid-Air Mobilizers, I opt to get it since it does give a lot of stats, which will help me keep my team alive.
3, 2, 1. Capture the objective.
that's honestly fine.
I don't know what he is doing, but we punish it. You'll see me slightly hovering to keep my mobilizers active, and you should do this as much as possible. You can also tap jump so your wings do not open, making your hitbox smaller while in the air.
I'm kind of feeling it now.
Don't forget the angel on your shoulder.
With the enemy walking up, I valve to help stabilize us. Against teams with hit scans, I should be playing more cover, but there isn't any, so I can be more in the open, which can help me see low targets I could potentially finish. Even with the enemy popping B, my valve still allows my team to be up, and since they're out of B, my team can retaliate. Since some of the targets are behind cover, I pistol to help confirm kills, which I wouldn't be able to do had I played too safe.
Never mind, I lied. He's not dying. He's never dying. Like, that shit actually aged. Like, oh, that mid-air mobilizer. Especially against this team, like, they literally...
At this point, I just need to keep my team alive, and with Winston jumping in the backline, I must stay back and hope Hazard can come back, and with the Winston dead, this round is over.
I kinda wish I got more kills. That would have been nice to get more money.
Round 3 we get our next power, and there are a couple of options. I could go for supply search to help my team cycle more abilities, which can be crucial for my soldier, Moira, and Hazard. I can go for triage unit to help keep my team up, since I know the enemy will spike hard this round, especially Winston. Or I can go into serenity to keep myself alive. I don't see myself struggling to live, so it leaves supply search and triage unit. Here I pick supply search to help get more abilities out, but to be honest, I think it was a mistake. With how the enemy will be more aggressive, me keeping my team up will ultimately do what I want with supply search, since the longer they live, the more they will do. Especially since Winston is going AP, it does give him the opportunity for him to go Cyber Venom, which will cut my healing by a lot, so I think this was a big mistake on my part. For items, we get the standard healing items like Amari's Antidote, which is always good on Mercy, and if you're ever wondering what to use your cash on, you can always buy this and get value. I do think I could have maybe sold First Aid Kit to maximize healing, but the extra shields do help. A very minor nitpick, but one you should always consider.
You have a lot of bounties. Literally, like, me and Moira.
I really want to make use of mid-air mobilizers. They don't have hit scans, so I can play for this a lot more without fear. This also allows me to stay out of Winston's dive. My main focus for supply search is Hazard and Soldier, but honestly, as long as I pop it when stuff happens, I should get some value. Junkrat dies, so I must look to keep everyone up. This rest was a mistake since I could have kept Hazard up, which would provide more value. I think this play could have been possible if I had triage unit, but definitely not with supply surge. Granted, the trap there was also not good, but I definitely could have played this better. I think if I packed towards the high ground, I maybe would have gotten out since I could have flown to Hazard to get in spawn or the Mega. But a death here isn't necessarily bad since we already lost the fight.
I wanted to watch the Haz first, but then he came jump.
Unfortunately, we are in a pretty bad spot as the enemy pushes for free while we struggle to push. As a general thing, we should be selling their payload and win a play here to give us space to push.
Tactical visor activated.
This rest was fine, but me losing Soldier LOS killed me in the end, so yikes.
The stupid wall, like, bumped him up. Oh my god, the stupid wall!
I'm here for you.
I see a hostile.
Unfortunately, this round is kind of unsavable, so I look to make as much money as possible.
Bye.
60 seconds left.
Get a trap. Oh my.
Seconds remaining.
Fuck, he didn't have jump anyways. I don't think he makes it anyways.
Score 2-1.
Yeah. At least there I made money.
With the next round, I definitely want to prioritize survivability, especially with the hazard. I need to be more aggressive so I can support him, and with divine intervention, it should help me support my team, especially against their burst damage. For other items, I pick up icy coolant and aftermarket firing pin to utilize all of my cash.
Then I can help my team. I just need to be able to be with my team. Not be scared.
The enemy now has enough for Cyber Venom, and it's really hitting. Really wanting that triage unit now. Honestly, there's nothing much else to say. Just don't get hit with unnecessary damage and watch the kills come. I pretty much spectated the enemy and they all died, which is fine by me.
I don't know why it looked different. That was fine.
That's an objective secured. Moving on to objective A.
I usually like this area since this corner does give a lot of cover, but do be careful if the enemy has flankers like Tracer and Genji who may lurk on the right side.
10 seconds until the objective's unlocked.
I'm very hesitant ulting on second point since if we lose we pretty much give them the next point, but I see us winning so I pop it to keep hazard up and get a safe res on Soldier.
Bring in the rain!
I'm at the height of my performance. Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines.
Yeah, using Tire this early is certainly a choice when they have all their cooldowns. I think if this Tire hits we win, but unfortunately we're playing Stadium, so I can't expect much.
Tactical visor activated.
Get out of here.
The best I can do is get as much ult charge so I can get another Valk for the next fight.
It'll be fine.
All I need to do is sustain our team for my Valk and hopefully live through their ults, then retaliate with our abilities and ults. Let's all thank Junkrat for delivering me this soul. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, if Soldier stays with me, he lives, and I die trying to save him. Honestly, super tilting, but what can you do?
God. Fuck, if my like Soldier trusted me.
For healing.
Let's check the stats. 2-2. Let's have a look at our MVPs.
Like, he should have trusted me. He should have trusted me.
Next up, time to face off in
Round 5, and I finally get Triage Unit, which will be nice for their healing reduction. With the money I have, I see buying Harley the Accelerator, Booster Jets, and Weapon Grease to be the most effective way for me to use my money. All the problems I have keeping my team up should be gone now with these items, so I feel good. Buying weapons serves two purposes. Obviously, it helps my healing numbers, but two, it also buffs my regen when healing, so I don't need to opt into survival items just yet. I definitely plan to once I have more money, but my biggest priority is my team.
2-1. Capture the objective.
Feel stronger? Yes.
I really want this Winston to either choose me or my team. If Winston jumps my team, then I can just keep them up with no issue, but if he goes on me, I give my team time to kill the enemy, and amidst the lag, I just use simple super jumps to stay mostly safe. I definitely should have packed towards Soldier since he is going in overhealth AP build, which gives me overhealth when in his biotic field, and I would be alive if I did that.
Visor activated.
Come here for healing.
Especially since Winston is only going into jump. As long as I'm hovering above, I can't get hit by what will really hurt me, which is the jump. Seeing my hazard low, I make sure to fly to him to activate triage and heal him up. While this matchup is hard since I need to use GA to outmaneuver the Winston, I'm still looking to proc triage as much as possible. I see hazard get low again, so I GA first to get an LOS, then pop Valk for beam length and to reset my GA. I hear Junk tiring, and I know where it is, so I go high up, so it's harder for Junk to kill me while in Valk. I don't know if this was the best trade, since my team still dies, but there isn't much for me to do with Valk when it happens, so I might as well try to make a play. I res mainly to stall, and just try to live as long as possible. Winston is really holding us up. The main reason why I hate going against this build is because without any sort of CC, he can basically do whatever and call you mean words. Soldier is pushed up, but I'm confident I can keep him up with triage and Valk, so I prioritize him. They are all focused on him, so I am not in danger, so I can fully prioritize GA before activating the triage unit. Once Valk is up, I pop it, and look how much space he has created. Sometimes you have to support gay wrongs to make gay rights. I hear Tire and back up, but once that is gone, we can just push up with our ults and ultimately win the fight and point.
Thank God. Oh my God.
Let's check the standings. 3
Holy
to
fuck.
2.
I only healed 7k
You
too,
can really tell
Like-
who the playmakers are.
but like, holy fuck. The fact that I kept my soldier through that because of his
Coming up
his
next.
overhealth is actually crazy. Have you played
Let's
Persona? No.
push.
But like honestly, like what Persona person has actually played Persona?
Time for the
Next round, I
teams
want to get
gear
items
up.
for myself, and since their
Let's
damage is
consider
mostly
the-
burst, I plan on taking Nebula Conduit to help mitigate and spread more of that damage apart. This does not affect Divine Intervention since it tracks pre-mitigated damage,
I've
so
been
these two
wanting
items
to.
are perfect for nullifying
I
their
just haven't had the
damage.
time to.
One small thing I do take is Weapon Grease over Compensator. Math-wise, the attack speed does give me a bit more value since the healing will come out quicker, which is important against burst, and since mathematically speaking, getting attack speed does give a bit more healing. This is very minuscule, but still a good thing to think about. If you're against Freya, then don't go through this door, but since there isn't one, I don't care.
Let's keep each other safe.
I'll be like,
The objective goes live in 10.
Don't forget the angel on your shoulder.
yeah. Oh wait, Mars, have you seen the cut-in? You'll see it when I Valk. Hold on, wait. You'll see it when I Valk. You'll see it when I Valk. Hold on. I have like a little thing I made.
Once you have most of your items, you can pretty much autopilot, and as long as you don't take damage, you will be okay.
It also doesn't help that like we have just like 20 million like overhealth now. So.
Yeah, I'm autopiloting a bit too much. Oopsies.
Let me get Valk. Let me get Valk.
Angel at your shoulder. Leading the way, as usual.
I I tried to hold Valk a bit since they weren't fully pushed up, but unfortunately Junk dies. Then Soldier. Then Moira. Then Hazard. Yeah, this Valk did nothing. I definitely could have held it once I saw Junk die, which would have been much better.
Is that new? No, I made that on OBS. It's just a simple thing I made on OBS. I made it using like, what's it called? Perfect for Overwatch because now I can use my ult like all the time.
They're moving the barricade.
My positioning is a bit too safe since it doesn't give me LOS with my team when they get knocked around. Even my Joker tiring in the middle is not ideal, but with a different position I could have done more. Yeah, I unfortunately lose my Moira too. To be honest, not much I could have done, but would have been nice to have her here too. My safest spot is in the air since I can avoid the Winston damage. The tire, while scary, I will have to ignore to prioritize the biggest danger, which is Winston. I can't dodge, but unfortunately I can't do much. I can maybe go for this res, but the Lucio definitely has boop, and Junkrat will tear me a new one if I tried. I think as a Hail Mary, it would have been good since this fight is not winnable without a miracle, so I should have tried to. If we had another fight before lead, I think this is the right play, but the bad plays are sometimes what you need the most.
When you're quiet, I'm like, oh, let me like, I swear my mic is usually so loud. Hold on. I'm not getting value off of triage, but oh my god.
The best thing I can do is stay alive, but with me needing to stay above ground to keep myself alive, I don't proc triage unit. I could have maybe kept floating to save GA to proc triage, but that will definitely lead to my death. And if Winston insta-kills my team before I can fly for triage.
You gotta teach me how to do that though? I can honestly probably send you the file.
3 to 3.
Is it better now?
Some intense
Hold on.
competition this round.
Hello.
Round 7, I want to get Serenity since it'll keep me alive, especially with how many items I'm building for my staff. With Serenity, I'm considering dropping
It's
Nebula
either I
for the
take off
Closer to
Nebula
fully
and I get
maximize
more.
my healing, but since I can't buy the Closer if I sold, I choose to keep Nebula.
have to
I am
sack one of
unkillable
these
with
items,
Divine and
as much as
Nebula
it's keeping me
together, but
alive, I
I'm
don't
considering
think my
trading
team's gonna be
survivability
healing.
for more healing since what cost us round 6 was my team dying. At the end of the day, you
I
won't
need to
have all the
heal
money in the world to
more.
optimize your build fully, but you have to make do with
Which is
what you
unfortunate 'cause I
have.
don't-
This map should be a bit easier since the map is a bit more close quarters, making it easier to mark this Winston, and since we'll naturally be closer to our soldiers since he is going an AP overhealth build, which in theory should keep us up. I know I need a proc triage to keep my team alive, so I need to play safely without using GA, so playing a bit further back lets me avoid the initial jump and damage so I can focus on hitting triage. This preemptive GA almost killed my soldier, but since I cancelled early, I can reach him with triage and barely keep him alive. Really shows the impact of triage plus my team. Without their Winston, they are nothing, so we can push as normal.
Oh my god, you live. Oh my god, you live. I don't know how the fuck they live.
I definitely want to get to high ground to keep my hazard up, but with the Winston ulting, I'm forced to help the rest of my team, and unfortunately can't make it to him with my Valk. The best thing I can do with this Valk is try to force out some abilities like this Overload, then res someone who they won't suspect, like this Junkrat. Thankfully, by keeping Moira up, we get their Kiri, so the enemy is on a time limit to kill us before we out-sustain and kill them. The most important people for me to keep up is soldiers, since the more biotic fields he places, the longer he will live, and the rest of my team for that matter. If Junk dies, it's whatever, but everyone else can make an impact, so I'm looking to them. Obviously keeping Junk is somewhat important since he is
Honestly, I gotta
seeing
keep my
damage,
soldier alive.
and another body to
Mostly
hit
heal.
instead of me, but he's poor, so sorry. junk dies, which I definitely could have prevented had I paid attention more. Tires popped and I start floating away since I know it will go for me since I'm Mercy, and I may or may not have avoided him for throwing, so I create as much distance and hopefully hit my shots, which I do. Since they are trickling in and we have a lot of overhealth, damage boost is much more valuable, and as long as I use my hidden tech of creating distance and using my abilities, I shouldn't have too much trouble.
Like that and my Moira is also giving a lot. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Thank you so much for watching. I've been having a good time with Stadium and have been streaming a lot more on Twitch and YouTube, and you should catch a stream at 5 p.m. PST on Saturdays, Sundays, and Mondays. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and until next time, bye-bye!